Sir Keir, Labour's shadow Brexit secretary, yesterday refused to rule out the possibility of Labour backing a second in-out vote. He was given a standing ovation as he declared that the possibility of ditching Brexit could be part of any future referendum. He said, "If we need to break the impasse, our options must include campaigning for a public vote, and nobody is ruling out Remain as an option." But Sir Keir was rebuked by Steve Turner, the Assistant General Secretary of the Unite Trade Union, who said Labour must commit to leaving the EU. He said, "In less than 6 months we leave the EU, and that is a result of the outcome of the 2016 referendum, and we have to respect it. We have to recognise while a majority of Labour members and trade unionists may have voted to remain, many didn't." A senior member of Mr Corbyn's team is said to have shouted at one of Sir Keir's allies during the speech. A source told Politico, "It wasn't the policy that enraged them. It was the crowd reaction." Labour Brexiteer MP Graham Stringer warned there could be real electoral peril if the EU referendum result was not implemented. He told BBC Radio 4's Today programme, "I think the actual resolution back yesterday was a classic Labour Party conference fudge." Follow express.co.uk's latest updates from the Labour conference. Sir Keir Starmer's speech on Brexit sparked a bitter row. Image, PA, 10:18 a.m. update. Bergen doesn't support general strike. Labour frontbencher Richard Bergen said he does not support the idea of a general strike. Mr Bergen, the Shadow Justice Secretary, was seen applauding fellow Labour MP Laura Smith's speech yesterday calling for a general strike. But he told Talk Radio he did not agree with her remarks, saying, "I applauded her speech, and I applauded all the speeches. I'm not calling for a general strike. That's not Labour Party policy. A general strike isn't supported by the TUC." 9:43 a.m. update. Ashworth says Labour offers hope for NHS. Labour's Shadow Health Secretary vowed to fund our NHS properly and provide the quality of care people deserve. Speaking to conference delegates, John Ashworth said, "In place of fear, it falls to Labour to offer hope again. If Labour had been elected last year, austerity in our NHS would have ended as we'd have invested £7.7 billion extra this year. The next Labour government will end privatisation and PFI. We begin the process of renationalising our National Health Service." Sir Keir refused to rule out a second Brexit referendum. Image, Getty, 9:11 a.m. update. Bergen says Labour respect Brexit result. Shadow Justice Secretary Richard Bergen said Labour's policy remained that we accept and respect the outcome of the referendum. Asked on LBC Radio about Sir Keir Starmer leaving open the door to a second poll, he said, "Who knows where history is going to go." He added, "The Labour Party isn't calling for a second referendum. Labour has our own vision of Brexit, respecting, accepting the outcome of the referendum." 8:42 a.m. update. Tom Watson praises Starmer's brilliant speech. Labour's deputy leader Tom Watson hailed Sir Keir Starmer's brilliant Brexit speech yesterday at the party's annual conference. Asked who spoke for Labour on Brexit, Mr Watson said, "Well, very thankfully for me personally, it's Keir Starmer, the shadow Brexit secretary. I thought he did a brilliant speech yesterday. I thought the conference united around him. So I think we come of this conference very united with a Brexit position, and that will probably be in stark contrast to the Tory conference next week." 8:03 a.m. update. Long Bailey backs Corbyn's fresh approach. Labour's shadow business secretary said the party's plan to create 400,000 new jobs from green investment was a fresh approach. Rebecca Long Bailey denied the proposal was a cut and paste from a 2008 speech made by former Labour Party leader Ed Miliband. She told BBC Radio 4, "We talked to each other in the Labour Party and we did have fantastic policies before, but it's not a cut and paste." Asked about Laura Smith's comments calling for a general strike, Ms Long Bailey said, "Well, that's not our position. Laura is an absolutely amazing MP. She's one of the North West MPs with myself. She's so full of energy and enthusiasm, but we're certainly not advocating general strikes as Labour Party policy." Labour's Jeremy Corbyn writing his conference speech. Image, PA, 7:37 a.m. update. Labour MP calls for general strike to topple Tories. A Labour MP called for a general strike to be held in a bid to topple the Tories if Theresa May avoids having to call an election. Laura Smith earned a standing ovation at an event after endorsing a nationwide workers' walkout at a socialist fringe event yesterday. Ms. Smith, the MP for Crewe and Nantwich said, "Comrades, we must topple this cruel and callous Tory government as soon as we can, and if we can't get a general election, we should organise with our brothers and sisters in the trade unions to bring an end to this government with a general strike." An 8-day general strike coordinated by the Trades Union Congress took place in support of coal miners. In 1926, the Conservative government of Stanley Baldwin remained in power, although the strike had not expressly intended to unseat him. 7:21 a.m. update. Corbyn to unveil hard-left economic plans. Jeremy Corbyn will unveil his hard-left plans to overhaul Britain's economy in a speech at Labour's conference in Liverpool today. The Labour leader will denounce greed as good capitalism as he sets out his radical plan to rebuild and transform the UK's economy. Mr. Corbyn will also unveil proposals for a green jobs revolution which he claims will create 400,000 skilled posts. He is also expected to attack the political and corporate establishment of propping up the financial system following the 2008 crash. He will say, "The old way of running things isn't working anymore." That's why Labour is offering a radical plan to rebuild and transform Britain.